everyone, welcome back to my channel. Susan's just making it. I'm over here making stuff, messes, chaos, and trying to just make it through life. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if this is your first time here, I'm glad you decided to pop in and spend a few minutes with me. If you like my video today, please remember to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment letting me know what you think. Feel free to share with a friend and consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, please hit that notification bell so you'll know each time I upload a video. Today I am here to share with you a journal that I made a little while ago for a friend whose favorite color is purple. So that's the theme I tried to run with without oversaturating it with purple. I did intend to get this video out a few days ago, however I ran into technical difficulties. I had a camera and recorded an entire video flipping through the journal to find that there was no audio. After trying everything possible, I've come to the conclusion that the camera just was not working properly, and it took me a couple days to get my hands on another camera to use. I wanted to get this filmed and out to you guys so I can get it in the mail and out to its recipient. So without further ado, we'll get into the album. First, I'm going to go over the cover, which covers are always a challenge for me for my albums and journals. I just make the book, and then when it comes to doing the cover, I just draw a blank, and it takes me a while to think of what I want to do with it. I will try to link as much information pertaining to websites, images, products, whatever I can remember. Some of the stuff I've had for quite a while, so trying to remember where exactly it came from I may not be able to do, but I will do my best to give you as much information as possible. A lot of the images I've used in the journal I have found on the internet. Whenever you create a piece of work and you use images from the internet, my suggestion to you would be to make sure you check copyright and usage information to make sure you don't run into problems, especially if you're going to make something to sell for a profit. Usually they make allowances for you if it's just for personal use or to gift, but if you are making money off it, you can run into problems if you don't follow their usage conditions or the requirements. A lot of the images that you'll see that I use in my journals and so forth come from the website The Graphics Fairy. It's a wonderful website if you like vintage images. They do have a lot of free images that are in public domain that they share on a regular basis. You can sign up for their email list and they'll email you freebies every week. Quite a few of the images I've used I get off the premium membership, which runs around $10 a month, which is an excellent value if you are a paper crafter or do mixed media, because they have a lot of images broken down into themes and collections, which makes it a lot easier if you don't want to go through the work of hunting around finding similar type things to use. It also is chock full of tutorials and other projects that their design team members have created. They also have a channel here on YouTube, and I will try to link the website and the YouTube channel in my description box so you can check it out. It's well worth checking out. Some of the stuff is absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, this image I found on the internet. I don't remember exactly where, but I decided to use it because of the beautiful purple robe. I thought it was just too pretty not to use. The frame that I used around it definitely is from the Graphics Fairy. It's similar to the frames they would use in the vintage photo albums, and I just basically cut it out, and then I cut out the opening obviously, and I just could not pass it by as far as using it because all of the beautiful violets are just gorgeous. Put a little bit of purple lace trim to add some dimension and interest. A little sparkly washi tape. There's a die cut I found in my stash. I believe it's from Die Cuts with a View, their old world collection. A very pale purple flower that I had in my collection, and this is what I came up with for a cover. On the spine I added, see the lights every a strip of lace, add some interest, and the seam from the paper is there too, and I just thought it was kind of ugly without being covered, so I threw some lace on there. Used a very plain purple pattern paper. I didn't want it to compete with the cover. My handmade by and my signature on the back. I used some crinkled seam binding for the closure that I purchased off Etsy, and if I can find the packaging information, I will also link that Etsy store, because this stuff is just so pretty. And the lady that has the shop that I purchased this from has it available in a variety of colors, and she does have packs where you can buy a variety of colors, or you can just buy this one color if that's all you want. So on the inside cover, I used another pattern paper on the front and back cover. I found a piece of pattern paper that I had with this ballerina fairy, and I thought, oh my goodness, you know, if I cut around that, maybe I can make it into a little pocket or a tuck. So that's what I did, and I think it turned out pretty cute. Once in a while I have a good idea. These are cards that I found the quotes and images on Pinterest, and I just printed them out and made cards. I inked them up so things weren't stark white, because I tried to go with a little bit of a vintage feel. And on the backs I just inked them, and I did a little bit of stamping just so they weren't totally blank. In my journals, I like to try to include a lot of cards and things like that to maximize the writing space. And in this journal, I didn't over decorate it because I wanted there to be a lot of space to write and jot notes down on. I also like to include things like this because if you want to carry them with you, and if you think of something that you want to write down to include in your journal, or you find a quote or something like that, you can always have it with you, and then when you come back home or come back to your journal, you can just slip it right in and include it. I always tend to run out of paper space, so I really write on my cards and stuff quite a bit. I created this little pocket out of these little clear pockets that I found on Amazon, and I will try to link them in the description box as well. Here is the package. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it wasn't very expensive, and I don't remember where I originally saw the idea that someone did this, but it comes with a variety of sizes, and basically it's like a regular sticker. You just take it off the backing and stick it on your page or wherever you want to use it. A little cutout from something or another with a quote that I liked. This is also an image off the Graphics Fairy that I cut around and inked and put that on there. I had a sheet in my stash of these like little journal spots, so I just separated them, tried to decorate them up, and back them with some pattern paper. And I tried to keep the pattern on the back not too busy, so you could also write on the back if you choose to do so. So I have that. I don't know if I can find the pocket to put it in, otherwise I'll just come back later and do that. This is a cut apart from a paper collection that this sheet actually comes from. I don't know right offhand. I think it was called Dark Romance, and I think it was from the Michaels brand, the Craft Smart. And I used this paper collection to actually make a wedding album for my daughter. It was just gorgeous. All the butterflies, the flowers, the black and purples and golds, and it has marble designs and wood grain. It was gorgeous. I would love to share that, but I don't have it. My daughter does. It was a wedding gift. And then I put these two cards in these. I also wish I could get the lighting a little better. I'm trying to use natural lighting and so forth. These came off the Graphics Fairy website as well in one of their collections. So I'll put that in the pocket later. It's not overly embellished. A lot of the sheets are going to be pretty plain. This was in a cut apart of some sort, so I made a little belly band out of that. A couple of the journal cards are just from pattern paper that I cut down into cards and tried to leave room to write on. And just, you know, it's patterned on the back and inked the back of the other one. Another one of the journal cards that I just decorated and backed with paper. And then a couple other images that I found on the internet that I thought were pretty to include. The papers I used for this are tea dyed. I did dye them myself. They're just regular copy printer paper that I dyed with tea, and if there's enough interest, I will try to do a video showing you how I dye them. Basically, you soak them in the tea, put them in the oven and bake them to dry them, and I go a step further and take my iron and actually iron them out a little bit flatter, because they tend to be quite wrinkly when they first dry, and it makes it very difficult to write on them that way, obviously. I tried to do a little bit of stamping on some of the pages to add interest and still leave a lot of space for writing. So I'll quickly flip through the plain pages because there's not much to talk about. I have a whole bin of lace that I picked up. I found for sale on Facebook Marketplace, a whole 30, I believe it's a 30-gallon bin of vintage laces, and I paid $40 for it. So you'll see a lot of lace being used because I have a lot of lace I need to use. I'm actually considering making some bundles of varieties of lace and putting them up for sale. So if anyone else is interested in using them for these type of projects, I will be offering them. It's a lot cheaper than going to a craft store and buying your lace by the yard or going to other Etsy shops. I'll try to make it very affordable because there's more lace than I'll ever use, so I would like to share it. This is a piece of pattern paper similar to what I used on the front and back inside covers, and I just cut down and made into a smaller page. Another image from the Graphics Fairy, some faint stamping. It's one of my favorite rubber stamps I have. This is some washi tape. When you sew in your signatures, you usually have your little strings left from sewing them in, and instead of just leaving plain strings, I tried to decorate them with some little punch butterflies. Some more. This is the other piece of that paper that I just decided to make into a pocket, and these are just some Project Life cards that I thought were very pretty to include, and the backs were pretty plain for some more writing space. Some more tea-dyed paper. This is the other side of the first page, and I just put a couple butterflies, included a couple more of those journal cards that I decorated up, and on the other side I put a pocket. This is from the Graphics Fairy. They have pockets and envelopes and stuff like that that you can print out, and it shows you where to cut them, score them, and how to make them. So I just included the envelope, and the backs are pretty too. Another journal card, added a tab, and this is from the Graphics Fairy as well. It is they have little tickets. There's a few collections that have the little tickets, so I just cut them out and I scored them to look like an actual ticket, and I thought that was kind of cute to include. No particular purpose to it other than that it's pretty. This is a piece of paper. I think I have this from when I first started scrapbooking, so this paper is from like 2002, 2003 that's been kicking around, so I decided to just throw that in there. A junk journal, you got to use that junk up. This is also from that paper collection, the Dark Romance. Threw that in there. Let's see. Actually, I don't think the name of it's Dark Romance. I think that's a Die Cuts of the View pack that I have. I think it's called Dark Botanicals, actually. My bad. Dark Botanicals. Dark Romance is a totally different paper pad. This is a ticket that I made just on some colored cardstock. I have the stamps for the tickets. Just a little bit of interest, a little tiny bookmark off the Graphics Fairy website, cut apart from that paper collection again. And this is also one with, like I mentioned, some of the marble design. Some more tea-dyed papers that are stamped. I'll just briefly go through that. A rubber stamp that I have that I like to use a lot. Never let the odds keep you from doing what you know in your heart you were meant to do. I truly believe that. I love using that quote on a lot of my projects. That rubber stamp gets used quite a bit. Some more dangles with the butterflies on them. This is from a Tim Holtz stamp set I have. To be all that is possible, we must attempt the impossible. To be all that we can be, we must dream of being more. Tea-dyed. As you can see, there's some interest. It's just where the pages sometimes overlap when they're being dyed, and they're not mistakes. I think it just adds to the interest, makes it a little bit prettier. A lot more tea-dyed papers, die cuts, and so forth. Back of that. Another little paper clip that I had floating around from somewhere. This is also from that paper collection, the Dark Botanicals. A couple more journal cards. This is a die cut. Can't remember where that came from right offhand. And another journal card. I have to fix that so it holds a little better. These are from something I printed out, and I just thought would be cute to just tape on there. A little bit of purple stamps. Some more tea-dyed. Let's see. I don't know why. Oh, this came out of the pocket. This pocket, it's another one from the Graphics Fairy. The only thing is, this time I actually adhered it to the page. Some cutouts from some other paper collections. I'll put them back in the pocket later. A couple more images that I picked up. I believe these are from the Graphics Fairy as well. They have a few collections that are just different types of ephemera. So I like to print them out and cut them out and just throw them in for some extra here and there. They're really cute. Another one of the tickets with the birds. The leaves have a little bit of a purplish tint, so I thought that would be pretty to include. This is tea-dyed as well. You see it's a little bit wrinkly and a little bit of a different color. Some more tea-dyed pages. In dreams we catch glimpses of life larger than our own. A little sticker to fancy it up and take a break from the stamping. Some more butterflies. Two birds never sing the same song. Two birds are never the same, nor are two people. Love that quote as well. Decided to put some lace on the inside just so it's a little bit different. More stamping. This is a little postcard with a bird. This is also from the Graphics Fairy. And this is also from the Graphics Fairy. It's little spools that you would normally wrap your lace or ribbon around. They have a few collections have these as well, and they're very pretty. Just something a little different. I just partially adhered it so it's a tough spot. Let's see what we have here. Pocket I made out of some embossed paper cardstock that I had floating around. Purple, so threw it in there. Again, some pattern paper that I cut down into a journal card. Another one of those journaling cards. The sheets were all purple ones, so I said, oh, this is a great project to use all those purple cards in. This, I can't remember offhand where I found this image, but there was a few of different ones. These bookmarks are tags that had different images. I think there's one with like roses and different things like that, but of course with the purple I chose to use this, and I had a little bit of the seam binding left over, so I just threw that on there. I made a little envelope out of some pattern paper that I had kicking around, and it's not very big or anything like that, and it doesn't have anything in it. It's just a little envelope, and I think this is off some decoupage paper, and I put some other paper to back it with because it was very, very flimsy, and I thought that would make a good like little closure. These little Velcro dots to keep it closed. I don't know if you can see very good, but I included this because maybe in your journal there might be just some little something you don't want right out in the open, like a little thought or something like that, or even maybe like a concert ticket or a ticket to something, you know, some little something you might want to include but not have right out in the open. So there's a little spot to tuck it aside. Some more tea-dye paper, another one of those little fairy stickers that I have that went with the flower one I used. another page. Let me see if I can get this apart. I might have to glue that down a little bit better. This is a little ticket from the Graphics Fairy. Another image I found on the internet. Another one of the journal cards. This was too cute not to include. The little fairies with the greenery, the mushroom, the purple. It's just so super cute. And like I said, blank on the back and just inked, so there's more writing space. And then I try to include these with a lot of the little journals too, because like I said, if you want to carry something with you to write on and then come back later and put it in your journal, it's always nice to have. And I just made this out of some paper, cut down some of the tea dyed sheets, left them blank, and adhered it with a little bit of paper so the staples don't show. So this again, I think it's also from that Old World stack from Die Cuts with a View, that the die cut on the cover came from the back of that sheet that was a few pages back, cut out from a paper collection in the back. So that's it. This went together relatively quickly. I tried to keep it simple, quick project with a lot of writing space, because obviously that's the purpose of a journal, to write in. I like them decorated so they're pretty, of course, but it doesn't do much good to like over embellish them and make them gorgeous, but there's no room to write in them. At that point, they're not really practical. So anyway, that is my little journal. I will be sharing more as I make them, and a few that I do have made up. I want to share the first junk journal that I made. That is one that I kept for myself, and it is all written in, and it's a little messy here and there, and it's looking a little rough because I do use it, but I'm thrilled with it. I love it, and I just wanted to do a flip through of that because it's got a lot more stuff in it, and to also encourage you to use your journals. I mean, they're gorgeous when you first get them, but don't be afraid to use them because they're too pretty and you're going to mess them up, because that's what they're for, is to write in. So I will flip through mine and show you that I do use my journal. So feel free to leave a comment letting me know what you think, and I'm going to just leave it at that. Don't forget to like and leave me a comment, and subscribing would be appreciated, sharing would be appreciated. So until next time, that's all I have for you today. Have a great day. Keep being awesome. Thanks for watching.